If this episode resonated, please share it with another mum who might need it. Follow us on socials at Burnt Out Mummas.
Check out our journey and we will help you to reconnect with yourself again. Please subscribe and download to all our episodes. It helps us a ton and keeps this podcast going.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
We are Burnt Out Mummas and happy Friday, and we have got one amazing guest today. We have got Jen Abra, spirit mentor, who has done some insane stuff and insane psychic stuff you do, don't you?
Oh my gosh, straight from the States. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, we're really excited to have you because we actually saw quite a few of your posts on Instagram and we obviously messaged you, didn't we?
Yes.
And a lot of your stuff, you've had really strong predictions that have come true, haven't they?
Yes, I always say the crazier the better.
Yeah.
The crazier the more is actually going to happen, yeah.
We love that.
Yeah.
You're also mum, you told us, we had a little chat before we came on.
Yes.
You've raised 4 children.
4 kids.
Oh my God, so how did you get into what you're doing?
Yeah, I did this 4 times. Right? Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm never doing that again. Oh, I'll just have another one. Yeah. Actually, I would say having the kids brought me to this, actually. So it came up from my journey as a mom, and I had postpartum depression, which I'm sure some of your listeners can relate to. Postpartum depression, diagnosed with 2 of my children, the middle 2. And then I just remember sort of feeling like I just so depressed and like, what's going on with my life? Doesn't feel right. I'm not happy, and trying to kind of figure out why I wasn't happy. And these, I'm going through medication and weight loss and hair loss and all these weight gain, and your hair falling out and all these things that kind of make you depressed of being a mom. And then, sacrificing what you kind of want to do for your kids and putting yourself last. And they actually showed me how to put myself first. And once I had that moment, I call it the Lego moment. In my book, in the first introduction of my book, I talk about the Lego moment, which is my son. He was 8 and he's now 23. And to this day, he still thinks that it was a bad thing that he threw the Lego. It made me crazy. But it's because of him that I got into this work in the first place. So yeah, the kids can be the reason why you sort of remember who you are, right?
Yeah. Actually, we've just released an episode on that, wasn't it?
Remembering who we are, the kids. And that's so weird that you just said that.
Just randomly said that.
Synchronicity. So what was the first steps, obviously, after having children? Have you always had psychic abilities?
Yeah, I love that question because I always say no. Right? I don't remember. I mean, I think everyone actually is born with abilities of some kind, whether that's psychic or mediumistic. I think we're all connected, and then we just get that noise on top of us that says that we don't or whatever. But the first thing I don't remember having them as a little kid, but I do remember them maybe not till college. College, I have do you want me to tell you a quick story about that? How I realized? Because I think it will be helpful and people can relate to it, right? So I remember being in bed. I was out of college back in my parents' basement, and I had a water bed. I don't know why I mentioned that, but I'm lying in the water bed at nighttime, and I woke up probably 3 a.m. and I heard, not physically, but I heard in my head like boom, 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 like footsteps. Then I heard the phone ring in my head, and then I said to myself, my grandma just had a heart attack. So I just lay there and I wait. 2 minutes later, my dad gets up, phone rings, bing, bing, bing above my head. I hear, he's like, Grandma had a heart attack, we're going to the hospital. That was my first psychic experience that I actually recall. And then after that, it just kind of snowballed. I have even more crazy stories. One time I had a dream where I visited, it was a therapist. He had a therapy office in his house, and I'd never met him before. And I was going there the next day for some therapy. And the night before, I had a dream that I was in his house. Never been to his house. Walking around, he had his whole room was like thousands of books. And there was this one little tiny dragon figurine on a shelf. And in my dream, I saw it. I picked it up in my hand, put it down. Next day I go there. Guess what? Exactly how I had the dream, and down to the dragon figurine and the grass that wasn't cut. So these things sort of were like little breadcrumbs, I guess, to remembering that I had these abilities. Right. And so
crazy.
Yeah.
You said that you woke up at 3. Is that because I keep waking up at 3 till 6. I've got worst insomnia at the moment. I'm just lying there. But is that a spiritual hour or something?
Yeah, I always say 3 a.m. If you're waking up at 3 a.m., it's not because you have to pee. I mean, it might be for after having a baby, but usually the 3 a.m. is around the time where spirit will kind of wake you up, but you don't know spirit is waking you up.
Buzzing ears.
Yeah, for like I don't know what it is about that time, but that's a very common thing for sure. Especially with some of my mediumistic students when they first open up and they're like, I'm like, just set strong boundaries because you might be waking up at 3 a.m. and you won't know why. And we have to go through that whole process of learning how not to let that happen. So you can do something about it. You don't have to be woken up at 3 a.m. Yeah. But that's about the time when they like to go on the door. I don't know why. Yeah.
Wow. So tell us the journey from there, how it like you got stronger and stronger. Because I know psychic, it's a muscle as well that you use, and the more you use it, you get stronger,
Yes.
don't you? And like you said, I completely agree. Everybody has it, and I've always said exactly the
You're
same.
quite
Yes.
good at-
Yeah, so I have like visions where I can see stuff on people when they like touch me, or I've got
Oh, okay.
a part of their jewelry or something like that, so I can feel energies in that way. But I have had a few dreams, but they're not as significant as yours, where it's that exact thing. I think everybody has a different way of psychic ability, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Finding your own, isn't it? So how did yours like start escalating and you getting stronger, really?
Well, it has. I'll try to make a close note version, but basically, I was a kindergarten teacher. I was in a private school, and then they had to change over, so I ended up in the school board, and I had to commute every day for like an hour, I think, to the school board. And once I got to the school board, I thought it was my dream job, but it actually turned out to be the opposite. It wasn't. So I started becoming miserable, not hating my job anymore. And over about a course of a year, I would start to like remember before that I knew nothing. I didn't know what tarot readers were. I wasn't interested in any of that. I didn't know about psychic stuff, whatever. And I would drive to work every day, and every day there would be signs. Like I would start noticing, like license plates, like it would say a word like work from home, or it would say my name or something like that on the license plates. And I started to become more aware of these subtle things, and they just got stronger the more I noticed them. Right. And then over time, just think I'm like getting more unhappy, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I have to figure out a way. And then I found a class. So the way I learned how to do this is I found a teacher. I was like, I got to figure this out. And I found a teacher, and the first class I ever took from her was psychic development. And then how I also got into this and learned my gifts too was I was so depressed that I almost ended my life. Because I'm like, there has to be more to my life than this, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that too, right? You're like, I'm just a mom now. Where am I? I left. So I was like, I had the moment on the floor where I wanted to end my life, and I call it the floor moment. And then all of a sudden, this voice out of nowhere yelled at me. I was like, Jennifer, get off the floor. You have more to do. And I was like, who said that? And then since that point, that voice has told me where to go. So the voice is like, she's like, you're going to go to a metaphysical store, go there tomorrow. And I went there because I was like, grandma, I figured it was my grandma. I went there, and my whole life changed from that one moment where she's like, go to the store. Because when I got there, she goes, go get a tarot reading. I'm like, I don't know what a tarot reading is. She's like, just go. I walked in, the tarot reader said to me, you're not depressed. You're waking up. And I was like, what does that mean? So I walked out. There was a sign on the bulletin board, Reiki level 1. Go sign up for that. She said, I signed up for Reiki level 1. She goes, go back. Then there was a group reading where the mediums come do like a group event. She goes, get a ticket for that and you're going to go. So I went, I did both things. I went to the group event, and I swear to God, I'm sitting in the audience and I was like witnessing a miracle. I'm like, how is she doing this? Like everyone's crying, and I got a reading from my grandma came through on the stage from the medium too. And I heard in my head, you're going to quit your job and you're going to talk to dead people on a full-time basis, but you're going to do it in a fun way. I was like, what is going on? So everything just went like this after that.
Just push you forward.
Taking classes, studying really hard. It became my passion. I was like, oh my God, I love this so much. Like I was terrible at it. Like I sucked at this really badly, but like I just kept going. And then the rest, I guess, is history. And now I'm here. Quit my job, retired. Yeah.
And you know what? We get so many mums come on here who've been in full-time work, like having children. And I feel like sometimes I think we've all been through it. We're just existing, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
feel like, especially you, when you said you was working in London, it was like back and forth. And you just don't get that time to listen to your gut instinct, your intuition, which we actually wanted to talk to you about, actually. Listening to your intuition, because your intuition was telling you so much, wasn't it? And your gut instincts, but You know, when you're so busy, it's really hard to listen to that.
And I do think when people do get very depressed as well, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I know when I suffered, I think it's almost like you're existing and you've lost who you are, like what you said. You've forgotten the source of who you are. And it was when I went on a journey of finding myself again.
Yep.
I did a lot of the law of attraction. That's how I got into it 20 years ago. And I'm learning about spirit, everything else. I was like, there's something more than just going to work and earning money and surviving and living in the matrix. So
Yep.
since then, it's sort of followed us through. And I think it's so important for mums to realise as well. This is another thing. At the weekend, I watched a film called Lucy. Have you seen it?
I recall it. Yes.
It's great. It's all about waking up, and it's. So I've got weird sort of goosebumps as well, because it's all about. She takes this drug and it opens all your mind up.
Yes, the mind. You don't use like 5% of your mind or whatever, and there's other. Yes, I remember.
Yes.
Now.
And then she starts to hear what other people are saying. She sees all the energy lines, but it opens up so much that her body can't cope with it in the end. So it's a really good one. And I thought, why have I never seen this before? It's been around for years. And it's got me thinking, yeah.
Yeah, so it's that with that and the intuition, how did you tune into both? Being a mum and doing both.
Yeah.
Get back to your nervous system, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't really listen to my intuition until that moment happened where I was on the floor. And like, so ignoring it obviously is not a good decision. But once you start to pay attention to it more and you use it more and you follow it more, that's when it starts to grow. And then my teacher told me the reason why I was able to amp them up was because my teacher said something to me. I tell my students, I'm like, you know what? She goes, if you don't meditate, I'm going to find out. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Just because you're not going to get better. So that was ingrained in me to meditation every day. And that was my way of being able to open up, because if you're always worried about what's going on out here and, you know, taking out the trash and whatever, you're not going to be able to go inside, which is what is required, being present and going inside to really go, wait a minute, I'm going to shift my thought process from being logical to completely illogical, which is your intuition. So it's that shift from being logical to like completely, you know, sometimes coming across as crazy. But for me, it was meditation. That's how I did it. And you use it more, you follow it. That being said, I still didn't listen, right? Like I would, you know, go right instead of, they said, go left, I'd go right, or you end up at the wrong house. You know what I mean? But over time, you start to go, wait a minute, there's something to this. And if I use it more like the muscle, then it gets stronger. And for me, my biggest thing is training and getting developed, professionally trained and you know what I mean, taking classes. That's my value of how you can get really, really good at this, right? There obviously are people who are very natural mediums and psychics, so that may not apply to them. But if you wake up one day, you're like, okay, there has to be more to my life. Like, think about taking a class somewhere, honestly, and follow it from that intuition place. I'm drawn to you, but not you.
Definitely.
That.
On your, obviously on your Instagram, like you predict a lot of really strong things about the world. Obviously, like at the moment, it's a big thing with the Epstein files. I was just talking to you before, and I went down a bit of a rabbit hole last night because my children are obviously very young. They're with a modelling agency, and I was like, do I want this future for them? If there's a dark world out there, and as a mom, like obviously with your predictions and stuff to release them out there, are these like strong visions you're getting? Are they dreams? Like, how does that all come about?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It comes sometimes as different ways. So it can come as simply as I'm in the shower and I'll see a vision, or I'm driving and I'll see something, but it's usually when I'm sitting still. Usually when I've altered my state of consciousness, which is like staring, I call Lala, I'll be just like staring like this, you know, you're driving and you don't like, it can come in there. Meditation, sometimes I'll do breath work, which I can really get amazing things. And the knowing is there's no doubt when I do the breath work, and it kind of gets, I don't like the word downloaded, but I receive it in very strong visions, or I actually hear, like, you know, political ones are very strong for some reason, right? They'll just come in and I have this knowing I got to share it. It's like I got to share, but it always comes from a higher power. And I always make sure that I believe it before it feels real, before I share. And I always feel bad about, sometimes I used to be worried about I'm scaring people, right? But the cool thing is it doesn't scare me. It doesn't come in, it comes in neutral, which is a key component of psychic work. It's neutral. There's no fear involved in it. It's just when people see it, right? They're like, which is, I understand.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's what I was actually going to say to you, actually. Was there anything that did scare you at the beginning? Like, and you were like, oh my God, everything's coming true, and like what really did, what was that point where you're like, oh gosh, that it was
The
actually.
one about actually the flooding. Last January, I got one, this the cities underwater one. I remember people were laughing at me and saying that's never going to happen and whatever. And I was like, so that I had to take a breath for that one because the visions that I see can be a little bit scary because I'm just worried for the world. I'm like, is that really going to happen? There's a little bit of doubt that happens, and then you start seeing it play out. You're like, oh my God, like that's exactly what I saw. You know what I mean? So some of the things, yes, the visions that I have are very, very like tsunamis or you know, the fires. I was seeing a lot of fires. Everything was on fire, the world on fire. You know what I mean? But I have,
Yeah.
yeah, and there was all these fires, and I had a vision of all these apartment buildings catching on fire. Then they started happening. I was like, like sometimes this might not be like part of your question, but sometimes I think like, why are you telling me this? Why do you want me to tell people this? Is it to prepare them? Is it to help? Like, because there's pillars of why I do what I do. There has to be a reason for it. But sometimes even I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, is this helping anybody? Just know when I put those things out there, that does cross my mind.
Do you think there's at the moment, a real shift going on? I feel like there is, and something major is
Yeah.
to happen and change. I think we're raising our vibrations in the world. It's getting more awake. Obviously, there's more knowledge out there,
Yeah.
but a major shift.
What do you think of that? Did you feel this?
Yeah. I'll share something with you guys and your listeners that I haven't shared yet, actually, which is really cool. It's not a prediction,
Yeah.
but it's almost better than that because what I saw was, so I don't know if you've ever heard of timeline jumps or quantum jumps. You see people talking about that kind of stuff. So I had I call it quantum jump, timeline jump on Christmas Day. And then I had another mini one the other day actually. And what I saw in that vision when that happened was so cool. It was like every time a human being in the spiritual practices does a timeline jump or they go through that process, they're actually lifting us out of the timeline that we're on the trajectory for. Does that make sense? So people will say on my post, not on my timeline, and I'm like, okay, what world are you living in? Because this is what's actually happening, right? So they don't want to talk about it. But literally, we can actually shift the timeline of what's happening every time one of us has one of those shifts. So as it must be a lot of people are doing it because we can kind of get on a different timeline if that makes sense by us doing that, having one of those.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
amazing. Do you
So
know what?
Avatar. Films
Very
Avatar.
weird, actually. The other night, I did a course actually, like it
Okay.
was called like a Dream Big psychic course,
Excuse me.
and she we did this really deep meditation. And at one point, I could hear myself snoring. I was like, "Oh my god!" And like, you know, you wake yourself up and you're like, "Oh my god, if I just been snoring." But then the lady who's doing it was so relaxing. I went in. She started talking. She does light language, so she works with like energy lights, and she started talking in a different language. I don't know if this is. I haven't questioned it because I don't know what it was, but I saw myself in circles doing all this stuff in my life of like future stuff. Like, so I could see myself going. I did 3 circles of things that I was doing. Is that timeline stuff? What
Yeah.
is that I was seeing? Because I don't know.
Well, the reason why you got to see that is because you altered your state so much.
Mm.
Like you were snoring, you were a very deep meditation or maybe hypnosis. I love hypnosis too, right? I can see crazy things in that too. But you've altered your state. So that's one of the requirements to be able to see the future. So you maybe just had visions of it. You received a vision of what was going to happen to help prepare for something, or you actually time traveled to that spot and came back and reported it to yourself, or you
Yeah.
remote viewed, right? So they all have different feelings to them, but it's one of those things and it was real, right? Like what you experienced was real. But the thing with things in the future is you don't know, you can't validate. So validation is important too, because you can't validate until it actually happens.
Yes.
So when you get there, you're like, oh yeah, that's what I saw in my meditation. I've seen whole trips I'm going on with by altering my state, the whole thing playing out, right? I can see the whole thing playing out. So it's like you can time travel or remote view.
Mm.
So that's kind of cool. I like the time travel theory myself. You time travel.
I sometimes time travel ahead, and then I have the dream
Yes.
like that, and then it ends up happening in the future.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's because you've altered your state, right? You're unconscious, so you altered your state. So in the dreams, that's why you can get information in the dreams too, and you actually can go places and interact in lives that you didn't pick.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
people say they're just dreams. I don't believe they are.
Yeah, I feel like there's something.
No.
Can I ask as well? Oh, hang on. What was I going to say? I lost my thought train now.
It's
I
just
just
baby brain.
baby brain. I was just had something.
No. Can I tell you? Can I tell you my stance on that? When people are hanging out with me, they talk and they start to get dementia. Like you'll be like talking and you completely forget what you just said. That means that you have someone with dementia that is around you that has passed.
Oh gosh, really?
And that's one of my loved one's signs to get someone's attention, to give them dementia. I'm just putting it out there. Yeah, or it's yours. Yep. And so you start to become. They start to show you that you're a medium. Like everyone's a medium, because if you say hello to your loved one in the spirit world, that technically means you're a medium. But when you get dementia, that's even a bigger. They're training you. Oh, your grandma's here, but you didn't know, and then you go, I forget what I was gonna say. That literally is spirit.
Oh my God, amazing.
God,
I've just remembered what I was going to say now.
Okay, great. She backed off.
You brought me back. So, for any mums or anybody out there listening, who are not in tune, or are not there yet, could you give them any tips on how to start working on that muscle and just being in tune with their intuition and their gut, and not feel like they're going mad? Because I think when I started having it at the beginning, I was like, am I going mad? I'm feeling like I'm going mad. And to put that out to other people, what would you advise?
Yeah, I always go back to the mom part. Is like I always say, if I had meditation, or if I knew about meditation when I was a mom, I would have been a better mom. Right? I wouldn't have maybe yelled so much or snapped, or maybe I would have rested more. So I always recommend a meditation, and I always recommend the app called Insight Timer to start with. There's other apps out there too. I started with YouTube, but Insight Timer to meditate as much as you can, even if you have like 5 minutes in the day. Even if you want to go take a nap and the baby's sleeping beside you, just put some headphones on, or just put the phone here and just like this. That will organically start to awaken that ability inside of you. Plus, it makes you calmer, right? More relaxed, and then makes it easier for you to carry on with your day with your kids. But I highly recommend to start with meditation for sure.
Amazing. And did you say that was insight or inside?
Insight.
Insight.
Like insight.
Yes.
Insight Timer. Highly recommend that app. Yep.
Amazing. So maybe start with that and I always think meditation is so fantastic. It is really hard when you've got kids.
It's like something else to do.
It is really hard, but I feel for me, what I do is I go walk, get myself in nature, and put my back against a tree. And for me, that is a form of meditation.
Yes, any of those is perfect. And I would just say, if you can, you're trying to put yourself first as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like, I know you have kids, it's really hard, but I'm telling you, that's a game changer, is to do something for yourself as much as possible. Because I always say, don't lose yourself in the momness, because it's really, really easy to do. And like I said, if I had this aspect of my life and this, spiritual presence and knowledge, I think I would have been, in a much better mental health space, and I wouldn't have wanted to leave the world and leave my kids behind. And luckily I had my grandma to help me out, right?
Yeah. And you talk about your grandma who was in spirit, right?
She was in spirit, yeah, but I didn't know what the voice was. It wasn't like a physical voice. It was in my head. I just knew I had to get up.
Yeah. Yeah, she was telling you.
So
and how old were you, if you don't mind me asking, when you lost your grandma?
I don't know. I would say maybe in my 50s.
Yeah.
I'm 51 now, so I lost her a long time.
Yeah, you do look good.
Thanks. Yeah, people are like, you look 35. I'm like, oh, thanks, I'll take it.
You do.
But yeah, I was young, and then this was like maybe 6 or 7 years after she had met my kids. She only met one of my kids, but she didn't get to meet the other ones, and it was when I at least had 4. So I would maybe mid 30s, around there, 36 around there when this happened. Yeah, she was my favorite grandma. I always spent time with her as a kid. She was a big part of my life, and she still is now, which I love. Right. So if people are listening, you're like, just know, if you had someone close to you in the spirit world, and they're, in life, and they're here, they're very close to you. They're around you all the time.
Yeah. And I say this actually a lot to my friend. Yeah. She lost her best friend, and I feel that she's always around her. And she's, because it was such a traumatic, she died and she was quite young, only 34 when she died.
Yeah.
And she lost her to cancer. So my friend was completely traumatized, saw the whole last part,
of course,
in the hospice and things. And yeah, she's still, but I keep saying to her, she's there, talk to her, she's there, she's not gone. Like, so I think that's a really important message
It
for
is.
us to put out there. Like, you could have lost someone really, really close to you, but just know that they're there, because you'll get signs, don't you? You get signs that they're around.
Yeah, I will say if they can hear everything you say.
Yeah.
Everything you say to them, everything you're doing in your life, they listen to your conversations. They're around you all the time, like in the spirit form, right? But just know they hear everything you say. So I always make a joke like, "Oh, what did they hear me say?" Right? They know everything, so they're always watching. They don't miss anything.
Yeah.
Birthdays, graduations, they're there. They're there for all that in spirit form.
I know, it's amazing. And can I ask, like, what?
Yes.
Oh my God, baby brain tonight. I've literally got.
I've got one.
It's the dementia.
There's the dementia again.
It's that dementia
pressure.
coming in.
Obviously,
You've come back.
You've got your children. Have they got psychic abilities, or do you protect them from it, or do you introduce them to it, you embrace it?
So I'll start from the top. So my oldest son is like 25, 26. He's the most logical person you ever meet. He's like, there's no way. The middle one is like the 23-year-old, that one, the Lego kid. He actually, when we first moved to this house, it's a brand new house. He saw a spirit in the basement. He got freaked out and he came up, like, there's a guy in the basement. So then he shut that off. Then I have a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old. The girls really have it, but they don't actively work on them. So I'll tell my youngest daughter, like, we have a very strong bond, but also very telepathic. So we'll be in the car together and she'll think of something and I'll say it, or I'll think of something and then she'll say it, right? So we have very telepathic communication, and like think of her like, where are you? And then she'll call me, I'm here. Like, I don't even have to like text her. So the youngest one for sure. And I said, you should be a psychic in a medium when you grow up, man. Like, you can travel, you can go to Florida all the time, you can work from anywhere. You know what I mean? She's like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. So I hope eventually that they will work on it and make it stronger, but who knows what they're going to do, right? But they all have it. Just
whereabouts in the States are you based?
Actually, I'm Canada.
Oh
no, I know. I can see why you think I'm from the States. I'm obsessed with America.
Oh my God, and there's me
really
not about
like all the way from the States.
So you've even introduced you all. This is so professional.
No, it's fine. No, I honestly, it's energy, because literally I'm obsessed with the States, and I get people saying, why are you so obsessed with us? I'm like, I think I was born in the wrong country.
Your friend lives in
love
Canada,
that. Yeah, she does.
We've got friends all
and
over.
I've literally, as we're talking, I've just got the new question.
There we go.
It's popped up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nan.
Yeah, see you? Yeah.
What I was going to say, do you use cards when you do reading? Because you said you do psychic development for people, how do you, train them? And do you use tarot cards yourself?
Nope. No tarot cards. I would say maybe in my younger learning years, I had like 40 decks of oracle cards, tarot. I think those are good for the beginning, because you start to trust you. Like, how did the card know that? How did the card, right? And it's like always accurate. And at some point I was like, I don't want these anymore. I just threw them out. Like, I donated them. I was just ready to not use them anymore. I'm like, I'm the tool. I don't need these tools anymore, because all the information that I need is inside of here, and I can do it, right? But the way I teach is always fun. So because of my kindergarten background, right, I kind of approach it like, let's have fun. Everything has to be fun, or why are you doing it? Right? So it's always games, music, drawing, paint, like all these things that bring out your creativity, because that's sort of, you want to use your imagination, right? So it kind of brings out that playfulness again, which that's how I approach it anyways. And it seems to be working well, because it's been 10 years and they're still doing it. So yes.
I love that. Do everything for fun.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good.
Yeah.
Can we put you on the spot before we finish off our podcast? Can you give a little message to me and Paisley today separately? I don't know.
You want a psychic message? All right.
Little, anything that comes through. We love things like this. We are like,
of course,
your best fans and best clients.
Yeah, of course. Okay, let me see here. I don't know for which one of you, but do you have a female that was in a senior's home being taken care of?
At the end, our Nan.
Yeah,
she did.
Yeah, okay. So that's the woman I'm seeing. I was being taken care of at a senior's home, and she wants to say thank you. I do feel like someone has a ring of hers. Actually, there's a ring that's left behind. Someone might have the ring. I don't know. Do you guys? One of you guys give your kids a lollipop or something when you shouldn't be doing it? There's something about don't give your kid that candy. There's a lollipop.
After school every day. That's probably me.
All right, you're like, don't give the kid the lollipop, and I'm like, okay, but it's like something that they shouldn't have. shouldn't have that lollipop. And then one of the kids have like some kind of cough, or I'm seeing some yellow medication that may be coming in for one of the kids with like a cough. So antibiotic, but it's yellow, and they're like, I'm not gonna take your medicine, and like spitting it up and puking it in your face. It's gonna be real fun.
Yeah, Sunny's been really
That
sick.
is Sunny, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, give that kid that banana medicine, but they're not gonna like it. It's like amoxicillin I see on the side of it. But she says just to warn them, she's gonna spit it in her face. They're not gonna like it. And I don't know if this will make sense to you, but there is a dog in the spirit world as well too that was put down, and this lady says she has the dog.
Oh, it's my dog.
Skippy! Oh, we had it. Oh, I've got goosebumps. It was a family dog. It was your dog, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
She's like, don't worry, I have the dog. The dog is fine. And a cat too. A cat just walked across the screen. It was like a random cat just went like this. And I'm like, okay, that's weird, out of nowhere. But that older lady is around all the time. She goes, you have to go to the mechanics.
Okay.
The issue with one of the cars. She's not saying which one, but she says you have to go to the mechanics, because she shows me a man with a wrench, which is my symbol for a car mechanics. Like, you have to go get your car fixed.
well, my engine light.
That might be you. I think that's you, Paisley.
There's always a light on in the car.
Always a light on.
But you just ignore it. It's fine. But they said you have to go get it fixed before it gets worse. So this is one of the things that I can do, is help prevent further issues. And every time I see a man with a wrench, that's my symbol for please get your car fixed and stop putting it off.
Tell my partner I have a heart attack. More money.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
wow.
you guys have great things coming for you. Like really great things coming from you. There is a possible move as well here coming up too. Possible move. I see furniture being rearranged. Conversations about real estate, this kind of thing is coming up. But they're not saying which one it is. But that's something that's coming up as well too.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank
I think
you.
that's all like yours in the real estate.
Got lots
and
of
stuff. I know how busy you are, Jen. So thank you so much for your
fitness.
time.
No, thank you guys. This is great. This is highlight of my day. Seriously, like I've been doing readings and mentoring since 8 a.m. This is great.
And then we just are like, can you do readings for us?
No, I love this. This is a highlight of my day. This is so much fun. You guys are awesome. You have great energy, positive energy, and keep spreading that out, man. We need it.
Thank you. We really appreciate your time.
I really do.
Yeah, anytime.
If anyone wants to go and watch any of the predictions Jen's put out, it's all on your Instagram page. What is your Instagram?
It's a spirit mentor, Jen Abra. There's a lot of them, so you have to go like this and find them all.
We'll put it all on the blurb underneath the post. And you're from
Yeah.
Canada, not America.
From Canada, that's okay. I wish.
We're mums. It's last minute. We're all like, all right, what are we doing? 3, 2, 1, go. Bye.
No, it's great. I just got back from Florida, so you're probably being psychic and
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
yeah. Thank you guys so much. I loved it. It was so much fun.
We'll be in touch, and good luck for the rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you. Nap time.
We can stay in touch with you, Jen.
I would love that.
We'll be watching. We'll be watching you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye,
We
bye-bye.
love you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
If you're loving the show, don't forget to download our latest episodes. It helps us a ton by boosting the show and making sure more people find us.
Plus, you can listen anytime, anywhere, even offline.
And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on Spotify so you never miss a new drop.
Want even more behind the scenes content? Follow us on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok at Burnt Out Mummas, one word, for exclusive clips, updates and fun extras.
Hit that follow button, send us a message, and let's keep the Burnt Out Mummas community going.